We used to talk to our good friend Jonathan Merryman all the time just about NASCAR. However, Jonathan, more than a one-trick pony, he is the weekend sports anchor at News Channel 10 in Roanoke, covering high school football, college football, has everything you could want on Saturday and Sunday nights. And Jonathan joined me on the Sports Buffet podcast to talk about the true reason we originally got him on the podcast in the first place, NASCAR. The chase is coming up, Atlanta on Sunday night, Richmond next Saturday night. The 2 races left before we decided to chase. I asked Jonathan, since we had last talked to him, which has been about 3-4 weeks ago, what are your impressions of what's happened since then?
My observations are close to what they were last time. Hendrick is steady. Kevin Harvick still needs to win with 2 races to go. He's borderline with that 10th spot. He's in 9th right now, but he's not far out of that 10th place spot, which is too close for comfort for that team, considering the past 2 years they finished 3rd in the chase. So they really need to get something turned around there before it's too late and they miss out.
Who needs the win the most going down to what the last 2 races, I believe? Does Harvick need to win the most, or does a guy outside the chase that's going to miss it, say maybe Carl Edwards and Jeff Gordon, from what I see, they still could use a W?
Well, if you look at it, that Harvick is in the chase, and if he rattles off a couple of top 5 finishes, he'll be fine. So he technically doesn't need to win. But you look at Jeff Gordon, you look at Ryan Newman, you look at Carl Edwards, those guys need to win for that wild card spot. And I would venture to say Tony Stewart may need to win or finish strong so he can hold on to those bonus points in the chase. If Casey Kane passes him for 10th place and Tony falls back to 11th, all that work that they've done in the season to establish those 30 bonus points going into the chase are null and void. And instead of starting first in the chase, he would be starting in 11th, which that's huge.
Whose type of track does Atlanta benefit? Who can benefit down there?
Carl Edwards for sure. All of the Hendrick cars should be strong there. Jimmy Johnson's been really strong there in the past. Kevin Harvick's first win came at Atlanta, but he hasn't really done a lot there in the past. But I think at the end of the day, what you're going to see is you're going to see Roush Fenway dominating, and I think Carl Edwards can probably pull out that win he needs at Atlanta.
You know, we talk about 2 races left with Atlanta and Richmond next week. Is there anybody, not that you've spoken of so far, that I hate to use the word trouble, but somebody that maybe not is going to run well in Atlanta and Richmond, that just it's not their type of track, that could get bumped out of the chase, or that's close, that could not see it?
I think everybody in that chase and is on the bubble run well at Atlanta and run well at Richmond. So it's I think it's going to come down to Richmond. I think it's going to be a good race there. It might even come down to somebody using the old chrome horn and hooking the bumper and spinning somebody out. That's what we can hope for as NASCAR fans, and we all want to see that excitement. So, it's going to be good, I can tell you that. You're not going to want to miss a race.
Before we move on to other topics, if you could make any changes to the chase, what would you do?
Honestly, the way it played out last year, I'm not sure if I would do anything differently. I might throw a road course in there just to kind of mix things up, or maybe another short track. But I think how it's played out last year and the year before that, it's been close and it's come down to the wire, and I think we're in store for more of it this year. So if the system works, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I don't think it's broke.
Well, I agree with you on the road course. I would like to see a road course in there. And here's my number 2, and you may disagree or agree with me. You're kind of a throwback, old time guy, so I think you might agree with me. I hate the season ending in Miami just because it really has no historical significance with NASCAR. I
agree with you there too. I think they need to bring it back to Darlington. It's one of the oldest tracks on the circuit. Martinsville's obviously in the chase. If you want to shuffle that around a little bit, but bring Darlington back into the chase. It's that racetrack is so old and there's so much history there, and in the Carolinas is where NASCAR got its start. So why not end it there?
Well, I don't have a problem with Miami having a race in the chase. I have a problem with them having the last one because it used to be. I remember the last race of the year used to be Atlanta. every year, which I don't have a problem with that. But I mean, Miami, come on now.
Well, that's what I think. Darlington would be a fitting end for any season.
Right.
It's a hard racetrack. It's stressful. It wears on your body. It wears on your mind. And if you combine that with the stress of the chase, there's no telling what may happen if that happens. But who knows what NASCAR's thinking, what NASCAR's going to do. You just have to trust the machine, so to speak.